Whose fault is that?
Well, I think it's her fault because I tried to get in touch with her, and I mean, you know,
You think it's her fault? I mean, are you looking at me straight in the eye and saying to me, I held on to the tapes for 4 days, and then somebody lost them or misplaced them or taped over them, and it's her fault? 4 days?
No, it's not 4 days. This is in addition to the earlier time.
So how much time? We talking about 2 weeks?
No, I think this is almost three weeks to a month now.
Oh, so let's talk about 3 weeks to a month. 3 weeks to a month. She's calling. You say she's calling all the time. You tell her to come in. She didn't come in for 4 days. According to this, you're a singer. You have a band.
Yes.
You entered into an agreement, excuse me, with the defendant to produce some records for you, some songs,
That's
some
true.
of your songs. And you are, sir, a record producer,
Yes.
Mr. McKay. You went to his studio. Mm-hmm. Tell me what happened.
Well, we met last summer through a mutual friend, and I heard some of his work. He was a really good producer. And so my band, when I discussed recording with him, we decided to record 4 songs together at $2,000 per song, including additional instrumentation besides my band and the production. So I paid him a total of $8,000.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And we recorded from the 10th through the 15th of August of 1996. It was sounding great, and at the end of the sessions on the 15th, I left the master tape with him. He was supposed to mix the tape. It was supposed to take 1 week. I had people waiting on this. I had like record companies that like have since think that I'm like insane for not having given them anything. And I called him about 5 days after we were done recording. Within that week, he said, give him an extra couple of...
Shh.
Give him an extra couple of days, which I did, and then I called him back. When I called him back, when he told me to call him back, he was out of town.
Which was when?
He told me to call him back, he said in a couple of days. So I called him back in 2 or 3 days after that, and he was out of town. And then I called him and called him and called him and called him. And he left a message on my machine saying, come down and pick up the tapes. So I was like, okay, finally they're done. So then...
What was the date of that telephone message?
I don't remember the exact date. It had to be within probably a few weeks maybe after the tapes were supposed to be done. And so I tried calling him back to pick up the tapes like he said, and I could never get in touch with him. And then after that, it was like, it was just impossible to like pin him down. Okay, I'm coming down now. It was, oh, I'm leaving right now. I'm going out of town. I have to find the tapes, this and that. I'm very busy. And so I never got them. And frankly, Judge Judy, I don't think he even has the tapes anymore. I've heard rumors that he was
Don't tell me rumors. All right, Mr. McKay, you have her $8,000 and you have her tapes.
Well, she's right. I don't have her tapes anymore because I attempted. I mean, her version is that she called me all these times, but I attempted to call her. I mean, I attempted to get in touch with her. I called her.
Judge, let's hear dates. She finished taping on the 15th of August.
On the 15th.
And did you do what you were supposed to do with the tapes?
Yes. Yes.
What
the
were you
tapes were
supposed
ready.
to do?
Mix them. She's finished recording.
Mixed, just for my purposes. I think I know what that means. You push a lot of buttons.
You blend everything together and make it sound like a record.
Okay.
You know, that kind of thing. But she...
So the 15th she was finished, and you finished mixing them when?
About 5 days later. But she had already called me like 2 or 3 times before I had even finished it. I told her, you know, I didn't say it was 2 or 3 days. I said it would be a week. And I did it under a week. And then when I was done, I did call her. And, you know, she took about a week to get back to me. Now, originally I told her...
Okay, let's say she took a week to get back to you. So what happened?
Well, I was involved in another project. That's what I was about to say. I told her I only had a space of about 2 weeks to do it, and that it had to be done or else I'd be gone.
So?
So I didn't hear anything before I left. And when I got back, I got all these crazy messages. You know, I'm flipping out. Where's my tape? Where's my tape? And,
but according to you, you had done the mixing already.
Yeah, at that point.
Okay, so you did the mixing already, and she called you frequently. You acknowledged that. Where are my tapes?
Yeah. So
you said, come down and pick them up, I assume.
Yeah, I did, and I waited and waited. And
how long did you wait and wait?
Well, I had, I think it was like 4 days. I called the first call I made, and
one call.
Shut. Go ahead.
Well, basically, I was home for 4 days, and I mean, I really don't have, it's not like a tape storage facility. I mean, if this was that important to her, she could have made it
Just a
down.
second.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
You just said you waited 4 days.
Yeah.
And then what did you do with the tapes?
Well, I work in a studio with some other people, and apparently someone misplaced the tape or used it for something else. And now I'm, you know, she's saying that I'm responsible.
Shut up! Stop tapping the table.
Okay.
Just a second, Mr. McKay. You had her tapes for 4 days. You said evidently you work in a studio. Somebody either took them, misplaced them, or taped over them. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
So, whose fault is that?
Well, I think it's her fault because I tried to get in touch with her, and I mean, you know,
You think it's her fault? I mean, are you looking at me straight in the eye and saying to me, I held on to the tapes for 4 days, and then somebody lost them or misplaced them or taped over them, and it's her fault? 4 days?
No, it's not 4 days. This is in addition to the earlier time.
So how much time? We talking about 2 weeks?
No, I think this is almost three weeks to a month now.
Oh, well, so let's talk about 3 weeks to a month. 3 weeks to a month. She's calling. You say she's calling all the time. You tell her to come in. She didn't come in for 4 days. That's what you originally told me.
Well, yes. I mean, I had no
Mr.
intention
McKay,
of that.
look into my eyes, sir. Right here. Are you standing there as a business person and telling me that somebody either misplaced them, took them, or taped over them, and it's not your responsibility?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're insane.
Okay,
You're insane.
okay,
You are insane.
And later today,
He's suing me for my equipment.
That wraps up our first case, a fascinating and frankly frustrating dispute over an $8,000 music project that completely unraveled before it could ever hit the airwaves. Let's break down the facts of what we just witnessed. The plaintiff, an aspiring singer named Jeanette Kim, hired the defendant, record producer Dante McKay, to produce and mix for professional tracks for her band. They agreed on a premium rate of $2,000 per song, resulting in Kim paying him a total of $8,000 upfront. In the music world, that's a significant investment for an independent artist. The actual recording sessions were finalized around August 15, 1996. At that point, the hard work was done, and McKay was tasked with the final mixing. He was supposed to have the master tapes ready in about a week. However, as the days turned into weeks, the excuses began to pile up. McKay kept pushing the deadline, asking for just a few more days before eventually leaving town altogether. Finally, McKay left a message telling Kim the tapes were ready for pickup. But here is where the story takes a turn for the bizarre. McKay testified that he only held on to those tapes for about 4 days. Because he operated out of a shared studio space, he claimed that in that short window, someone either misplaced the master tapes, stole them, or worst of all recorded over them, erasing months of work. Astoundingly, McKay tried to shift the blame onto Kim, arguing that the loss was her fault because she didn't pick them up fast. Enough. Judge Judy was not having it. She quickly exposed a massive contradiction in his story. In his official, sworn written response to the lawsuit, McKay had actually stated that he was the one who erased the tapes. The judge delivered a blistering reality check to the 27-year-old producer, reminding him that in the music industry, your reputation is your only real currency. Because the court's jurisdictional limit is $5,000, Kim couldn't recover her full $8,000, but the judge didn't hesitate to award her the absolute maximum of $5,000. It was an expensive, career-altering lesson in professional responsibility.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Record producer Dante McKay says he no longer has singer Jeanette Kim's demo tape, so she wants her $8,000 back.
Is that what you're really, as a business person who's trying at your youthful age to build up a career in your industry, trying to tell me whether it was 2 weeks or 3 weeks or even 4 weeks, she paid you $8,000? You have a responsibility to maintain those things. Come on.
It was not my intention to ever have those tapes disappear at that point.
But they did. And they were under your control. They weren't under her control.
She had control of getting to the studio. I mean, does she not have control of getting herself to get them?
Mr. McKay. Sir. She hadn't abandoned this project, according to you. She called you all the time. As a matter of fact, she was called and making a nudnik out of herself at the beginning, according to you, because she called even before the week that you said you would need to mix these things. And you said, I told you it would be more than just a couple of days. Isn't that what you just told me?
Yes.
So what makes you think that she abandoned this property, which is what you suggest in your answer to me?
I thought my feeling is that she didn't take the project seriously. It wasn't just this, but other things.
Mr. McKay, everybody takes $8,000 seriously.
Well, now she does. Now she does, because she realizes, but I don't think she realized then when I asked her to come down and pick up the tapes.
How,
You know?
Mr. McKay, on what date did you tell her to come to pick up the tapes, sir?
I don't have exact dates.
Well, you need exact dates, sir, in order to satisfy me, if you want to convince me of your position. You need exact dates, sir.
Well, I don't have an exact date. I mean, I could tell you, I know it was before the first of the month because I had to do a project on the first of the month.
1st of September,
Yes.
which was 15 days later that you called and told her to come down to pick up the tapes,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Were you looking at the tapes at the time?
Yes.
You were looking at them?
Yes.
And when did you realize that they were no longer there?
Well, she went at some point while I was gone.
What do you
She-
mean?
I mean, it's a studio. As I said, there's other people there. I told her to come and get them when I was there. I told her if she wanted to get them when I wasn't there, that's fine.
What
Because
date did you go to get the tapes and found that they weren't there?
It was, let me see. Well, I never actually went there. I called the studio to say I was coming by to pick them up, and that's, you know, like I was, you know, I
don't know. You have to,
I
you have
don't
to
remember
talk
exactly.
English. You have to tell me. You don't.
I
you
don't remember the exact date that I had made the arrangements.
this is what I'm talking about.
Well, no,
Was it
there's
in-
no.
Shh. Was it in September?
No, I believe that it was before September. It was before September.
But it
When
wasn't any later than September.
No,
Well, if you didn't finish this until August 15th,
it was.
finish the project.
I would say late August, because he had called me.
It certainly wasn't in October or November or December. You didn't
Right.
leave the property
No,
there for
no,
6
no.
months.
Oh, no.
All
I
right,
mean, I was.
Mr. McKay, how old are you, sir?
27.
And how long have you been in this producing business of records?
A while, 8 to 10
How
years.
long? What's a while?
8 to 10 years, I'd say.
Since you were a teenager.
Yeah.
Building, you only have one thing in business, and that's your reputation.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
People like Mr. McKay, like, have to be put in their place. That's what I think.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Somebody has to take a hit for this money. It is not sensible, sir, for somebody to have invested their time and given you $8,000, which you acknowledge, and for them to, within giving you the benefit of every doubt, 6 weeks, the whole month of September and half a month of August, abandon this project so that you feel comfortable about erasing the tapes, which, by the way, is what you swore to in your answer, that you erased the tapes. You didn't say they were lost. So this wasn't true in your answer. You don't know whether they were erased. They're just not there anymore.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, you understand that the limit of the jurisdiction of this court is $5,000. Mm-hmm. You understand that?
Yep.
And I assume that you've come to this court because in order to retain counsel, et cetera, it would have been much more expensive.
Yeah.
So, she is absolutely entitled to her money back, sir. Absolutely. And I'm going to suggest to you that as long as you're in a business, the only thing you have is your good name. And if there's a mistake made, what you're supposed to do is fess up right away so that it's not besmirched in an industry. That's a good lesson, and you're young enough to take that lesson to heart. The judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000.
Awesome.
Parties are excused. You may step out. I'll be back with you right
This is not about a legal matter. This is just revenge, vindication against me because, you know, I don't know.
Okay,
Maybe
$8,000 doesn't have anything to do with it. It's just because I care so much about you that I would, like, do this just to harass you, just to have...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You're insane.
Okay,
You're insane.
okay,
You are,
Jeanette,
you are
okay.
insane.
Moving into our case verdict, we saw yet another example of how a lack of documentation can turn a simple agreement into a courtroom nightmare. While the specifics of this dispute involved different parties, the core issue remained the same: a complete breakdown in communication and a failure to meet basic obligations. As we watched the testimony unfold, it became clear that one party was relying on he said, she said anecdotes, while the other was desperately trying to find a paper trail that didn't exist. The judge focused heavily on the timeline of events, looking for that one piece of evidence that would tip the scales of justice in these smaller civil cases. The preponderance of evidence is what matters essentially, whose story is more likely to be the truth. Ultimately, the judge had to weigh the credibility of both parties, and as is often the case, the evidence or the lack thereof clearly spoke for itself. This case serves as a prime example of why getting your agreements strictly in writing is so critical. Whether you're dealing with a record producer, a landlord, or a contractor, keeping track of your business communications is your only real safety net when a dispute ends up in front of a judge. Without a contract, you aren't just trusting someone's work, you're gambling with your bank account. Thank you all so much for watching today's breakdown. If you enjoyed this analysis and want to see more real courtroom drama explained through a legal lens, please hit that like button. It really helps the algorithm push these deep dives out to more people who love the law. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you never miss a new upload. I'd love to hear your thoughts on today's verdicts in the comments. Did Judge Judy make the right call on that master tape disaster? Or was the producer just a victim of a bad studio environment? Drop a comment down below and let me know what you think. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.